Hello, in this video I am going to show you the switch component. So the switch component essentially it's basically a toggle essentially. And you've seen it on applications, all the time. Just to note, the switch itself doesn't maintain any particular state. When you change what looks like the state from, on to off or off to on, it basically has a method called onChanged, which is a required method that you need to implement, and we'll do that in a second. And that allows you to detect what's being changed, but on its own, it doesn't maintain any particular state. So we have to actually handle that. So to create a switch, use the switch, spell it correctly, obviously. And then inside of here, there's two, required parameters. There's the value, which is whether it's on or off, by default. False is off, on is true, or true is on. And then next is onChanged, and this is just a little function, and we call it state, and in here we can just print out state. Okay, so let's save that and let's see what we get. So it's just hot reloading, and we got this little thing in it. So if I click it, we can obviously, slide it like so. And at the moment, if you notice, it's constantly just true. So we need to, essentially have a way of handling that. And we need to basically set the state. So if we, outside of here, create a variable, I want to create a variable, don't actually need the counter. I'm going to say bool state equals false by default, and this will be, we'll change this to that. So if we change that to true, it will be on by default. Actually, let me do that, and I can get rid of this actually as well. I don't need any of this. Now let's change that to true, so it looks slightly different. And in here, what we want to do is set state. Inside of here, we want to say state, or I'll rename this to S. I'm going to say state equals S. And now if we was to run it, and let's do a print out as well. So print state. And obviously we can use this state variable outside of the actual switch itself. So maybe we're on a settings page, we're toggling stuff on and off, maybe notifications, that sort of stuff. And once we click save, it could use this variable, or variables like this for multiple switches, and then save it accordingly. So if I save that, start reloading, as you see by default it is now on. If I click it, it now actually toggles on and off instead of me having to slide it. Now it's false. I click it again, it is true. Click it again, it is false. Click it again, it is true. And obviously the sliding mechanism will work as well if you want to go down that route. And for switches, that's really all there is to it. These are the main two things that you need. Make sure, generally speaking, this is the same as mine, and that you have this Boolean variable state. There are other properties that you can modify, like the color, if you want to have a thumbnail image, the inactive color, all of that stuff. As an extra task, I want you to experiment with these other extra aesthetic properties. That's it. If you have any questions, feel free to pop me a message. And as usual, I look forward to seeing you in the next video.